Welcome to Forward Focused. I am so excited that you're here. We have some great content we're going to deliver to you today. And here's the theme. It's what I believe is probably the most single-handed important thing that leaders of their organization must focus on to find, keep, and attract talent. Any organization in any industry must find, keep, and attract talent, or they're a dying organization. They're a dying company, right? So today we're going to dive into that, and I promise you're going to find value on the other end of today's episode. Let's dive in. Any success in an organization is solely on three things. It's finding, attracting, and then retaining their top talent. That's it. Finding, attracting, and retaining. The number one priority for leaders in their organization is to continually have a conversation around the search for talent, the ability to attract them to their vision or their mission or what they're doing, and then keeping them. Because if you can get them in the door, but they're leaving you a year or two later, it really kind of defeats the purpose of finding and attracting them. Everything else is always everything else. Remember that. There's always going to be fires and emergencies and issues to deal with. There's always going to be chaos and a crisis. That's business. See, business is messy. It's got people and emotions and financial constraints and commitments and deadlines. I mean, the list goes on. And so as an entrepreneur, when you're thinking about how do I scale, how do I leverage my time as efficiently as possible, it's through bringing talent into your world and succeeding through them, not around them. So let's dive into a couple lessons that I've learned personally on this journey. The first thing is our ability to understand what talent's needs are, what their desires are, and what their goals are, and to be able to coach them in real time at the highest level. That's what our job is when you're running an organization. It's pouring into your most talented people so they can succeed. It's getting the roadblocks out of their way so they can perform. As a leader, you need to be able to cast a vision that is clear, it's concise, and it allows people to buy into something bigger than themselves. When you've done that in your organization, you'll find yourself consistently succeeding through others. One of my favorite examples of that is when you have an event that you're hosting. Let's say it's a training or some sort of class. Maybe you're bringing in an accountant that is going to speak to all of the 1099 entrepreneurs within your organization. Well, if that's the case, the best leaders that I coach and develop that are running massive businesses, I'll ask them about the event and they'll be like, oh, I don't really know. Like high level, this is what I know, but I don't know what food's being served. I don't know the exact call to action. They have somebody on their team or on their staff that has set that up at the highest level for it to be seamless. And so actually yesterday we hosted an event in our training center at Keller Williams Lakeside, and we had a speaker come in from Atlanta, Georgia. He was speaking from 10 to 1. When I showed up, it was about 5 minutes before the event actually started. There was donuts and coffee laid out. All the chairs were set up. The slide deck was pulled up. The microphones were ready to roll. I just had to put it on. And I just introduced the speaker. And then it was go time. We had about 65 people in the training. And we had a lunch break halfway through. And our guest speaker that was sponsoring the lunch spoke. And then he continued with the second half of his training. And I actually had to leave about 15 minutes before it was over for my next commitment. And the team wrapped it up. And so that's a perfect example. The people attending it had a great experience. They learned a lot of valuable content on business building, life skills, energy, passion, that kind of idea. The speaker felt like he was world-class treated. He had a first-class experience and enjoyed the process. Even to the extent of the post-event social media shout out, I opened up my phone, 4 or 5 hours after the event, and I was tagged in social media posts highlighting the event. I share that with you as a very tangible example of succeeding through others. It was a true team effort, and some talented individuals on our staff made yesterday happen, made that event a smashing success. And so if you feel like you need to know every single detail of every single moment of these events that you're trying to put on, or the product you're trying to sell, or the service you're trying to give, you're bottlenecking your organization. And instead, I would challenge you to find individuals that have the capacity to do what you do as good or better, attract them to your organization. And that's not just by writing a big check or giving them a big salary. It could be about the culture that you embody, the mission that you believe in, the vision of where you want to take your company, and then retain them by not micromanaging them, by encouraging them, by telling them, yeah, why not? Instead of asking why all the time. That is what talent wants to be able to do. They want to be able to thrive. Here's the fact. The primary driver of why people leave your company or organization is that after meeting with you as the leader, and maybe doing that for years, they're still unable to show how the organization they're a part of is going to help them achieve their goals. I'm going to say that again. The primary driver of why people leave in an organization is that after meeting with their leader, sometimes for years, they are unable to see how the organization is able to help others achieve their goals. At Keller Williams specifically, but other companies we're a part of too, there are models for growth. There are systems that we can follow where we can build an organization that we can have everything that we want, all within an organization like KW. Talent will always leave the organization if you can't help them see their vision within your vision or organization. It's our job to help them see their vision, their life by design, their goals through what we're building at our company. When our organization is able to do that, we will grow. When we grow, we're able to open up more opportunity. So remember, finding talent, attracting talent, and then keeping talent starts by helping show the talent in your organization how you will help them achieve their goals in your company. I hope this was valuable. I hope you got a lesson out of this around finding, attracting, and keeping talent. It starts with finding talented people around you and just letting them run, helping them achieve everything, because when they succeed, you ultimately succeed. As always, if you found value in today's content, please be sure to subscribe so you never miss a lesson to be the leader that you deserve to be. And until next time, lead on.